Now. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Fabulous Empty Nest with me, your host, Angie. Today we have a special guest, just like I told you we were going to. I'm going to let her tell you who she is and where she's from. But I'm super excited to have her with us today. This is kind of a first for my channel, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to do this more often, have other crocheters, other artists, other people who like to go out and create and make the world a better place. So I'm going to turn it over to my guest and let her introduce herself.
Hi, I am Ashlyn. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I am a beginner crocheter, but I have been working in art for a while now, and I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're here too, Ashlyn. Um, so if any of you haven't figured it out in the last 30 seconds, Ashlyn is my youngest daughter. And of course, I'm thrilled that she has picked up crochet again. She's done it here and there throughout her adult life. But out of all of my daughters, there's only two that have really picked up the craft of crochet. They're all super crafty in their own way, but Ashlyn and my daughter Chelsea are the only two that actually crochet. And we will definitely have Chelsea on here someday because she does
She's
some,
so talented.
yeah, she's very talented. Um, but she's busy homeschooling. So I think what we'll do is just talk a little bit about the projects that you're working on, Ash, and like what inspired you to pick up the hook for the holidays, and we'll just kind of let things unravel as we go. So what are
Yeah.
you working on?
Yeah, so the past 2 years, one of my things that I've been doing for my coworkers is making scarves. So the first year that I made them, I actually used this chenille yarn, and it's just the mainstays that I got from Walmart. I wasn't really sure what I was doing, and so it really was just a long scarf. There was no accents, nothing like that. But this year I decided to kind of venture out, try some new things. And so this is the most recent one I did. My coworker said that she really wanted a red scarf with white trim. So I was really excited to try the trim. And so I have created this one right here. And
Ooh.
I have added on this fringe.
Oh my gosh, that's so pretty.
And I'm really happy with how the rose came out too. And if you flip it over.
Yeah.
And so this yarn, this red yarn is the loops and threads. And then the white is actually the off-white loops and threads as well. I had a just pure white chenille. Thought it would be too bright for this
Mm.
red. My coworker, she has a darker complexion. She's from India, and so I think the red looks really beautiful on her. She requested the red. Um, and then the fringe is this macchiato color, and can you remind me? I showed it to you, and you actually have the branding Cupcake, but I don't
Mhm.
remember the brand. I'm not great at these.
Oh, it's Karen.
Yes, yes, thank you. So it's the
Mhm.
Karen macchiato color, and when I saw this, I was obsessed with it. It's a lot of these warm fall colors, but there's some red and tans in there, which I knew would
Mm.
look fabulous with that red.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm currently working on. Or I just finished. I am working on another scarf. The exact same colors were requested. One thing I'm very proud about with this one that I'm working on right now is that so far I have not dropped a stitch.
Woo! So you have nice clean edges.
Yes, this is my first scarf where
Awesome.
I have not dropped any stitches. I have been counting every row, whereas usually I'll count the first two rows and then just like, oh, I got it. And then I look at it and it's all
Yeah.
wonky and wavy. So
Yes. Yes.
very proud of myself for this one. I'm actually being patient with it.
Counting stitches matters. It
hmm
really
That
does.
I learned that the hard
Yeah.
way.
I don't care how long you've been crocheting. Every once in a while, you need to just check your stitch count. And I learned that too. A matter of fact, I'm working on these socks right here, and every row I am counting every single row because earlier this I got up at 3 a.m. and started working on these. And at one point, I think I was crocheting half asleep. And then I looked at it and I had too many. I had 33 stitches instead of 30. So I had to frog about 5 rows. So not do it.
Yep. The first scarf I made for one of my coworkers, it was all chenille, and I started off with 15 stitches per row, and by the end of it, because I didn't go back and frog it,
Mhm.
I had 10.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that must have been lovely.
luckily she didn't notice, but and then this last one I did actually did frog it every time. There's still some drops, but so it took me a lot longer to do because I actually took the time to redo certain rows.
That's something that maybe you don't know yet as a relatively new crocheter is that one beautiful thing about crochet is it's easy to, if you've dropped a stitch, to add another one in. So you can just crochet two of the same stitch in one stitch. So say you're doing all single crochets and you needed 20, but you only have 19. On your next row, you can just throw two single crochets into one stitch and clean it up. Same thing if you have too many, you can just single crochet two together and bring it back to what you need. Now you don't want to do that a lot because then you've got weird stitches, but to kind of clean things up if you need to, that is one way to definitely kind of get back on track. And I've had to do that many, many times. So do you have a favorite crochet hook?
So with these scarves, I have been using the 3 millimeter. So this one right here.
Wow.
So that's what I've been doing with these. I'm not a fan of the smaller ones. I have been making a hat for my boyfriend with the 6.5 millimeter, and it's driving me crazy because I like to get things done.
Yeah.
And I'm also using a yarn that's a little bit rougher.
Okay.
So I've gone out and I actually found another yarn that I don't have with me at the moment, but it's a dark forest green and it's a little bit softer. And I think I'm going to restart and make his hat out of that.
Nice,
So,
nice. Okay. So I don't know if you know this, but on the back of each skein, it'll show you there's these little squares and it'll tell you what size hook you should be using with that yarn. So
okay.
like with this, let's see. I don't think I have any close by, but so you're using the loops and threads. Let me grab one. You're using the loops and threads soft classics, right? Is that what you're using? Like the big
I
one like
believe
this?
so. None of
Like this?
them have the wrap on them.
That look like this?
No, they're smaller.
Oh, okay. I know what you're using. You're using, I know what you're using. You are using the Charisma.
I think so.
So you're
Yes.
using the bulky, the number 5 bulky yarn like this.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's, yes.
So on the back, it'll actually tell you, let me see, let me put my finger where it is. Right there where my finger is. Let me see if I can do this. It'll tell you what size hook you need to use. And this actually calls for a 9. So I am so impressed that you're using like a 4.5 hook, but that's probably why your stitches are nice and tight and look great on that scarf. You
Mm.
can use, the nice thing about crochet is you can really, if you're not trying to get like a specific gauge, you can use any hook you want that feels comfortable to you. Let me show you this set that I just bought. I should have gotten you one of these for Christmas. So it comes like this, and it's a
Mm.
little, and it's got these nice rubber handles. So they're you're not having to hold a little tiny hook, and they really help with your hands because they've got some extra bulk to them. And I think it sizes 2.25 all the way up to a 10.
Mm.
So this is a really nice, yeah, to a 10. So these are really nice. I think I got this for like $12 on Amazon.
Okay, I'll have to
Yeah.
check that out. One of the reasons why I like to use the bigger hooks is they are more comfortable in my
Mhm.
hands as well.
Yeah.
But with a scarf, with something that somebody's gonna wear, I have learned because I have been getting more into tutorials because I've been watching your videos a lot and I've been watching the other YouTubers that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But I want it to be flexible.
Yeah.
And so I used to crochet really tight because I didn't want any holes. I was
Hmm.
afraid something would slip through and ruin it and all this stuff. But
Yeah.
I have let myself be a little bit looser and it is more flexible now. It'd be more comfortable around somebody's neck because it needs to
Yeah.
bend.
Hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
trying to kind of learn as I go, but
And it's all about practicing and you'll find your tension. I mean, after a while, some people crochet really tight, some people crochet kind of loose. I tend to crochet more on the loose side. And so oftentimes I have to like change my hooks up so my gauge isn't always the way it should be. But I'm, it is impossible for me to follow a pattern 100%. I don't think I have it in me. I don't think I'm capable of doing that.
mm-mm.
It's just part of my personality and I will be like, "Oh, well maybe I should try this and try that." I mean, that's what I did with this sock. With every pair of socks that I've made. I change it. And then, it's like a luck of the draw whether it's going to turn out or not. It might just be cruddy because I didn't follow instructions. But so far so good. So do you have a favorite yarn so far?
I have been using a lot more of the chenille. That's usually my go-to just because of the texture.
Yeah.
Very sensitive to textures. And so when I found the loops and thread, this one, it's still very soft. Now, as
Mhm.
I do my stitches, it does feel a little bit more, not coarse, but the texture does change a little bit. If I'm holding it in this hand and I'm touching it over here, it does feel a little bit coarse on the scarf, but I think that's just due to the stitching.
Yeah.
Um, but at the end of the day, I really do. I was just at Michael's and I found a bin and I saw this color. I didn't care about the brand and I felt it. So the color and the feel, that's all I really care about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do like the chenille. There's not a lot of halo. And my sister, Chelsea, who we were just talking about, she actually gave me this one and it is from Yarn Lane and it is a chenille home slim. And
Hmm.
this is like velvet.
Oh my, I've
I
never
was
even
very
seen that.
excited. Yeah, it's a nice smoky gray.
Mm.
Very excited to use this. But so yeah, I like these a little bit more. I like to snuggle into things, and so this is my go-to is these soft, bulky yarns.
Definitely a Chelsea color too.
Yes, yes, a lot of neutrals.
You're lucky though. Where you live, you've got a Hobby Lobby and a Michael's like right there.
They're on the same road.
Yeah, so you're so lucky. I was going to drive to Hobby Lobby today, which is 3.5 hours, but Clara had to back out. And then I was going to go by myself, but we've had flooding here. So Highway 101 down by the college was actually flooded completely, like up to the chest of police officers.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I was
Oh my
like,
gosh.
I don't think I'm going to drive down there by myself. So I'm just going to wait till after Christmas and then head down. Hopefully they'll have some sales and I can buy some yarn. I've
Yeah,
got plenty of yarn and plenty of things to finish up. Now, did you know that I finished my Yarn Oasis room?
I did not.
Yeah, I'm in here now, and I'm not gonna do it now, but I'm gonna put a video. It's basically ready to go. The only thing I'm missing is a computer chair, and then I'm getting a big round rug for the middle of the room that's in nice bright pinks and real bright because the room's
Very
pretty light.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. And then, so do you have any, other than the scarves, do you have any projects that you want to do next?
So one thing I've been working on, I didn't bring it in because it's so bulky and big, but it is made out of course, the chenille, and it's in this really soft. light foresty green. I like a
Mhm.
lot of the earthy neutral tones, and it is a blanket that I've basically been working on for 2 years.
Oh, yes.
And I showed that to you when you were visiting. It's huge. And it's something that I don't ever know if I'll finish because I just do it when I have nothing else to make. I'm kind of at a block. I just do stitches. And that's something I do with all art is I just, if I'm at a block, I just do something that's really simple and easy to me. And that usually gets the juices flowing a little bit. When for painting, I just paint little trees and
Yep.
that always helps me. So, uh, I've been working on that. Like I said, I don't have it in here. It would take up the whole screen.
Yeah.
But I actually did find this. It was an abandoned work in progress, but I'm thinking about picking it back up because this was my experimentation with round. Um,
Really?
really, I didn't have any instruction. I just kind of went off of what might work. And it came out looking like it could be a bowl holder
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking.
or like a pot cover or something.
Yeah.
But I do really like it. I like this color. It's very cloudy,
Mm.
soft blue. Um, so this is something I recently found in my yarn basket, and I'm hoping to maybe pick it back up. That's one thing is working on the hat for my boyfriend is getting these round pieces. That's what I want to learn next. I have two things I want to learn, and that's a hat
Mhm.
and just like a simple beanie, and then a granny square.
Oh,
So,
yes. I know we talked about granny squares. So
mhm.
I'll be sending you some granny square patterns that I've collected over the years. And then because those once you start making granny squares, it's all over. Like you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna make a towel out of granny squares. Oh, I'm gonna make a couch cover with granny squares. Like honestly, you can make granny squares. You can make anything with granny squares. So I'm excited for you to play with those, and then you can practice like changing colors and all of that kind of stuff, which is super super fun.
Yeah,
You can make a sweater. You've seen my granny square sweaters.
yes,
I mean,
I've been seeing videos on YouTube of people making sweaters out of granny squares,
yep,
and they just kind of fold them over and, stitch them up. So I've
yep,
been excited for that, or little bags. I've seen little
yes.
bags. I want to make a scarf like these, but with granny squares and to do a sunflower one.
Yes, yeah,
So,
those would be beautiful. Oh my gosh. Well, I know there's tons of those out there. One of my favorite people on YouTube, which is Sarah from Crochet with Coffee, she has a bunch of tutorials on just like like the basic crochet stitches and stuff like that. So I would check that out. She's a very good teacher. She's slow. She doesn't like assume you know things. She like
mm,
touches, that frustrates me when they're like, they don't explain like if the chain two at the beginning is a turning chain or is it actually counting as a stitch, like all that kind of stuff matters when you're new. So,
I don't even know what any of that means except for a chain.
right.
So,
Yeah. So there's some people out there that just are really good teachers for beginners.
mhm.
Um, I mean, I've been crocheting since I was 7. I didn't even know how to do a magic circle until probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's my favorite thing. But, and I just learned to do a foundation, like a foundation chain, like the foundation crochet. I think you learned how to do that before I did.
Well, you taught me how to do a simple chain. And I
Yeah, but
remember I used to make headbands or like
yes,
little hippie bands and stuff
yes,
with
yes.
flowers. I would glue the flowers on.
Mhm.
I somewhat taught myself this texture, and I know it already, existed, but I taught it to myself, and it's after the chain, you do a back stitch,
Yeah,
correct? Yeah. Whereas when you taught me, it was just like the simple front
yep.
double stitch. So I experimented and did the back stitch, and you actually see in that big blanket, that was the first one I did that with. I was inconsistent with it, and you can see a big gap where there's no
Mm,
double stitch, and so it's just flat, and then you have the pattern again.
yes. Well, that's really one of the beautiful things about crochet is that you can just kind of make stuff up. As long as you're consistent, it can be really fun. I mean, it's just unlimited stitches that you can do. And I heard a really cool vlogger the other day that was saying, if you think that you created something, you didn't. Like crochet,
Yep.
it's all out there. All the information's out there, and but hooray for you if you're experimenting and having fun with it and doing different things, because you could take one kind of stitch and do lots of different things with it and make it different, so that's exciting. So let's switch gears for a second and talk a little bit about your art. I think people would
Yeah.
be really interested in that. So tell me a little bit about your art journey.
So I have always done art. I have always been interested in painting and drawing. Ever since I was little, I have a big tub of all my art from when I was a kid that you saved from kindergarten and up. I have this plate I made in
Oh, yes.
the plate I made in 2000. So let's see. It's 25 years ago. I was 6
Yeah.
and they turned it into a plate. We drew it on paper plates.
You also won an art contest and
I
got a
did.
t-shirt. You had a
I
t-shirt
totally
made.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
There was a countywide art contest for what was called the Family Fitness Festival. It was a walking kind of thing, and they had all the kids from fourth and fifth grade throughout the county submit a drawing for a t-shirt, and I won, which was super exciting. I was in fourth grade. I was in the local newspaper.
And everybody in town was wearing your t-shirt.
Yep. My
Yeah.
grandpa even ordered one who lives out in California.
Yeah.
So he still wears it.
Yeah.
So it's really sweet. When I'm trying to think. I've always, used to take us to work, and you've mentioned this in your previous videos, used to take us to work with you at Michael's when you worked there, and we'd be in the back room and you just give us some crafts, and I think that's where working with my hands and creating things really came to light. I started to really get into painting um, probably in late middle school, early high school. My dad would get me canvases and paint for Christmas, and I would have gone through all the canvases by the end of the night. So he would give me spray paint. I'd go out into the back garage and I made these space paintings. And I was always trying to find something new to create. And for a while, I actually am somebody in abstinence-based recovery as well. And so I have been in recovery for, it'll be 9 years on May 12th. And for a while, I was actually convinced that I could not do art anymore unless I was under the influence. Um, and then I took a big step away. I came back and I tried to create some things, and I somewhat liked them, but I felt like they were just, they weren't me. I liked them, but they weren't who I was. I felt like I was just trying to get something out. So I took another break, and um, about 6 years into my recovery, I started to paint again, and I started really branching out and trying different things, working with water. And now I have a part-time art business, or, I work outside of my 9 to 5 doing art. And so these two pieces behind me are two pieces of mine. If you can see, very big piece over there and a smaller piece over here. And it's all mental health focused. And so my concept of art at this point is it gets out what we can't get into words. Not everybody is able to speak how they're feeling. It's just this feeling. And so when we put it down, not just in painting, but in any form of expression, whether it's dance, music, even crocheting, I truly believe that art can get us to where some people can't listen, some people can't speak. And so this is how we communicate. This is how we create community. People that I've never met in my entire life have walked past a booth of mine, seen my art, and I've seen women cry because of a painting of a mother and child that I've done. So that's what means something to me. And it also tells people that you're not alone because I've
Yeah.
created this, so I've felt this. And if you're feeling from something from this, we're together.
Yeah.
So there's hope in the darkness. Some of my paintings may seem a little dark, but I like to think that there's a lot of hope underlying in them and that there's always another day and another reason to keep fighting.
Yes, yes.
So
There's, oh, your paintings have tons of hope. When
thank
I
you.
was back visiting Ashlyn, just a few months ago, I left with, I don't know, four or five prints because she's
Mhm.
now making prints also. And I left with four or five prints that I'm actually getting ready to go out and buy frames for today. And those
Aw.
are going to go up in in the Yarn Oasis. I'm going to do one whole wall that's just art from people that I've purchased from other, from other people. Like I've got
Hmm.
that one really cool piece that we bought when we went to Seattle and we were at Pike's Place Market. I bought that cool
Yep.
piece of art from that guy.
I have one as well
Yes,
from him.
yes, yep.
Yep.
So I'm going to put that up. And then, of course, at our local Arts Alive that we have every Friday night down in Old Town, I always buy at least one piece of art. Not a big expensive piece, but I'll spend
Right.
25 or $40 on a piece of
Hmm.
art. So I don't know how I'm gonna make it all fit, but I'm gonna make it all fit in here.
I
Um, when you
sorry.
did you start really, I feel like it was kind of about the same time that I really kind of delved into art seriously was right around when COVID hit. Was that true for you too, kind of?
Um, I think during COVID, I was at a stalemate with art.
Okay.
I was going through a really hard time during COVID where it was basically during COVID, I was going through the stuff that created what my art is now.
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so from about 2000, or not 2000, I'm sorry, from 2020 to about 2022, I wasn't really doing any art. I think more so I was being put through the experiences that would lead me to what my art is now and to really find myself. I think it was in my recovery probably the hardest time I went through. And just mental health wise, I think COVID really struck everybody for the most part. With their mental health. There was a lot of isolation,
Yeah.
and we really had to sit with ourselves.
Yeah. Big
And
time.
I think that really helped me figure out where I was going, what I wanted, and what meant something to me. And
Mhm.
I wasn't trying to copy things that I had seen out there before. I was left to my own devices. And I've always kind of been a darker, moody person. And so when I was able to get those emotions out, it really helped me find that release that I've been holding on to for 2 or 3 years since COVID hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was going to bring up Hat Club and well, I guess I will. Do you remember Hat Club? You
I
do.
do.
Okay.
Yes.
Hat Club supposedly is still going on down in Rivergate at the Hobby Lobby down there.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember you transitioning to Hobby Lobby kind of towards the end,
Yeah.
but a majority of my memory was at Michael's.
Yeah. 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 So I think that's pretty cool. I'm wondering if you want to share your Instagram information, where your art page, or you can send it to me and I can post it not only right here where we're talking, but I can also post it in the description and your email if anybody's interested in seeing your art.
Yeah. So my art Instagram is recovered echoes. ECHOS. There's no E at the end. Um art and there's underscores in between each one and then it's the same thing on Facebook, recovered echoes art. Just a kind of idea of what my pieces look like just because I have my prints right next to me,
Oh,
actually.
great. Do you have your mother and child?
Let me see. I know I do. I gave one to my other sister, Amanda. I believe so.
If you don't, I have one and I can post it up here, but it's just such a powerful piece.
Yes, I have my two favorite pieces actually right here, and the originals were much larger, but they are actually, I donated one and to a mother and baby sober living home, and the other one just, sold at an event, but this was probably my most recognized piece.
Oh, so powerful.
Thank you. It was much larger in person. But this was the first one I kind of did where it was um, a real depiction of people. For a while, I was just doing kind of these ghostly creatures, which I still absolutely love and do. But this one and this one
Yes.
that recently sold, and it was much, much bigger too. It was probably about 4 feet high. So, but I made copies of these ones or prints of these ones because they were just my absolute favorite. And
Yeah.
then this is one of my favorites as well, which I recently sold the original piece to someone in Rhode Island.
Oh,
So,
yes. I love that one too.
yeah, and it says, "Can you hear me?" which I feel like is another um ode to our mental health and sometimes how we can't get words across.
Yes,
So,
yes. So I think one thing that's really, and we'll wrap this up, but the one thing that I think is really interesting about your art is that you're not really a conventional artist. You don't use a lot of paint brushes and things like that. You use scrapers and paper towels and you move the water around. And so you're
mhm.
not like me. I'm like, You're not like that. You're like, woohoo, right?
I like to find the mess, or I like to find the beauty in the chaos.
Yeah,
So,
that's wonderful.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming and joining me on my channel. I'm sure everybody's going to love seeing all your art. I still think you need to have your own YouTube channel because I think you would love it. Um, and I hope some people reach out. I hope that you find lots of cool crochet connections on YouTube. I know there's
Yeah.
tons out there. And enjoy your Monday.
Thank you. It was so wonderful to be here, and I'm excited to watch your new video too.
Okay. Well, thank you. Love
Yeah.
you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Oh, how do I turn this off? How do I turn this off? Bye.
Oh, bye. I didn't